Hello, pproteus here. Welcome to another LCI draft on Magic Arena. We're gonna take a fun one. Basically, it kills things in combat by being infinite pump spells, and also makes creatures when your first creatures die. So that sounds pretty excellent. We're gonna follow that up with an Earthshaker Dreadmaw. I think it should be pretty nice to stay in green. I haven't drafted a lot of green decks in this format. I think this is pretty easily my least favorite color, but you can definitely do some things, especially if you stay in the big dinosaur decks, and if you lean in the good colors as pairs, like a white for example, or red. This next pack here, Belligerent Yearlings, looking at me. This is definitely a dinosaur card. There's also Pathfinding Axejaw, and maybe this is safer because it's probably one of the best green common creatures, and just having this around, the big dinosaur, it goes well with all the other big dinosaur things. It's hard to go too wrong with that. Sorry, Belligerent Yearling, we may not end up in red. So I'm just gonna take the green card. I'd like to draft a green deck. Never mind. We've been past this guy. This is a pretty good gold card. 2 mana, 2/3 haste. It lets you fight something. Pretty excellent. Sad to be passing this River Herald guide. I'll be very happy with this. All the common explorer creatures are quite good. In this next pack, there are a few considerations. Definitely the land jumps out at me. I'm a huge fan of these lands. I've heard some people don't like them, but for me, I find that it just doesn't matter too much having the one tap land early in the game, because this isn't really the format where you need to go 2 into 3 into 4. There's lots of flexibility on your curves because of all the small cheap things, and because of that, I think not being able to flood it when you get to 6 mana is pretty excellent. I also see this Plundering Pirate, Jade Seedstones, Nurturing Bristleback. All those are pretty decent. I think I'm going to take the land just because I like it. Here we can pick up a Bristleback. It's pretty cool. There's also a Petrify. Maybe I should be taking the Petrify, because we don't have any removal right now, and I'm sure we'll pick up some Bristlebacks later. And besides, we already have several expensive things. Yep, I'm talking myself out of the Bristleback. We're going to take Petrify. Don't need to play it, but you can be in red, green, and splash, and that can happen honestly pretty easily when you're in red, green. Those are the 2 best colors for splashing. In this pack, we're just going to pick up another land. Now, I don't want too many of these lands, but I think these cards are a little bit medium. Curator's fun. I haven't played it yet, but it seems like if you're getting a Discover off of it, that's pretty excellent. And it's not that hard to get Discovers off of it when you take these lands aggressively like I do. Here we can pick up a why is it so hard? Bristleback. And this is going to be pretty good because it is a large big thing, but also just, it cycles. You know what the card does. That's what it's for. Cavern Stomper, another good card when you have to make sure to get low-end creatures, because this is a lot of 6-drops, but we're going to keep taking these cards because they're good. This pack seems fairly medium. Both of these green cards are kind of bad. They're not things I actually want to play. I'm going to take Unlucky Drop just in case we end up in blue, but probably not going to play it because green-blue, not a great color pair in this format. Here I will take either Tomb Raider or Compass Gnome. Compass Gnome is pretty safe. It's a 2-drop. It'll never go wrong. Tomb Raider is definitely more of a I would like to keep people out of red kind of take. We can take this guy. Don't want people getting the idea green is open, even though this card is not something I actually want. Pack 2, pick one. We've got another rare. This is this card that is a combat trick, sort of, depending on what you want to do. You can flash it in after combat and make it really big. You can use it to scry to as semi-card advantage. In the late game, you can use it to exile a graveyard in case your opponent is doing graveyard things. And you can also just play it on turn 3. I like this card quite a bit, and makes me think that maybe we can play green-white. Green-white maybe not the best color in this format, but red really hasn't seemed open, so maybe that's where we need to go. Pack 2, pick 2. This is Bomb. This is a card that you're supposed to play. We do have a lot of top end, but we're green. We can pick up some ramp cards, even though I don't have any yet. I'm confident we can get some. One sort of ramp spell we could take is Sunbird's Standard. It is ramp and fixing all in one, and even gets you a creature later, but we don't have to take it because it's not that good, so it'll probably wheel. Here we're going to take Cloud Guard. Cloud Guard is best white common creature, and maybe we should be playing white because we've already got some good white cards. Maybe we should just take this one red card and send it away. We don't really need it. Maybe. This is an interesting pack. If I were in a typical white deck, I would quite like Malamet Warscribe, Glorifier Suffering. I think they're both powerful cards, but they don't really fit with this mono 6-drop deck. Glorifier wants cheap things to sacrifice, Malamet wants a bunch of tokens. I think we can take this Warscribe because we aren't passing much. Like, the next best card is like one of these red cards, and 2-mana doesn't fit our deck, and Monster Sword is just another 6-drop that we really don't need. But so I'm going to take this guy, and we don't really need it. In this pack, I'm going to pick up an Iron Paw Aspirant. We are suffering from the curve being too high, and taking a 2-mana 2/3. That'll help slow the game down, fortunately. In this next pack, we're going to look at this gold card. Green white gold card, it's not busted or anything. It definitely is hitting a synergy that our deck really isn't about, the counters thing. But we do have some ways to hit this, and it's also just a good card. It's just a Centaur Corso with significant upside that also sometimes draws you cards. It's not something you should really, not something you have to work hard to justify. I think we're just going to be playing green-white here. I think this is quite a good start for a draft. River Herald Guide, I said I wanted one earlier. We got one. Armored Kincaller. I've been hearing good things about this card. This card is really important, partly because you end up in these, when you're playing green, you end up in these decks that have a really big top end, and these dinosaurs that are stuck in your hand, but also partly because, well, it just gains life and clogs up the board, and that's really important too if you are not an aggro deck, you're trying to slow the game down. I'm going to pick up another Bristleback in this pack. Bristleback's not really busted unless you have like reanimating stuff to do, but it also just cycles, so it can't really be that bad, especially if we don't have 2-drops that we're trying to play on turn 2. We're not going to use the mana, something we actively want. In this pack, I think we're just going to take a Sunbird Standard over a third Bristleback. Bristleback just seems unnecessary, and once you get multiples in hand, you're going to be cycling one anyway, so I'm going to take that. I'm going to take the Standard. You don't have to play it, especially if we don't hit anything that we want to splash, but I wouldn't hit one. Would I like a second one? Or do I want a staggering size? That's an interesting question. Maybe I should just take it and try to splash this cute little dino baby. Pick 3, pack 1, and I am I'm staring at this pack because I'm not sure what I want to do. In a vacuum, I would love a Spyglass Siren. Most of these cards are just not remotely appropriate for this deck that we've got. What a pity. I don't think we're going to play any of these. Next pack, we got past Fabrication Foundry. I believe this is the card that was banned in draft for a little bit because it was bugged. It's not good. It's not good. Don't play that card. I'm going to take another Cloud Guard. Love Cloud Guards. It's definitely more of an aggressive card than a defensive card, but it's also just 4 power for 4 mana, and that's good enough even if you're just blocking. This next pack has an Abrade. In case we feel like splashing, I'll have to think some more about whether or not we do. But it wouldn't be that hard, assuming we're going to play the Sunbird Standards. And the alternative is Iron Paw Aspirant, which would be good. Jade Seedstones, which would be probably fine. I'm going to take the Aspirant. The Aspirant is, it aspires to less, ironically. It just asks so little of you. We're going to play a 2-mana 2/3. Hope to stop the opponent from attacking me, maybe hope to draw a card with Kutzil. We can take another Courtyard here. Love these lands. Give me another one. Sunken Citadel's not terrible. It's a rare. It mostly just fixes your mana. If we were intending on splashing, I should probably take that one instead, but the main benefit of this is it taps for 2 mana to activate these hidden lands. So I just want to get the hidden lands. Triumphant Chomp. Now, this card, we are short on removal, and I think we're going to have to take this one. This is different from Abrade, because Abrade is like small removal that once in a while kills a 6/6 if the 6/6 is an artifact. Triumphant Chomp is a card that if you have a bunch of dinosaurs, it can really help swing game. Assuming you have the correct color of mana by killing a 6/6 for 1 mana. I think we're going to take this. Under normal circumstances, I would take Aspirant, but I like how this card kind of stops the opponent from doing stuff. I also have like 2 Aspirants. I really need interaction. And as I say that, I'm faced with, it's a really sad pick, Final Strike versus Axejaw, and I really, really, really want the Axejaw. Really need it, but we also don't have removal. And do I have to take the Final Strike? Final Strike is a lot worse than Chomp, even if we're splashing it, though. I love Axejaw so much. I want to play it. I can't bear passing these Explore guys. In this pack, I don't really want any of these cards. I'm a fan of Crewmate and Blue decks, but we're not. I'm not going to splash Sunfire Torch, dealing 2 damage for 2 mana. That's definitely not in the same ballpark as Triumphant Chomp. We're gonna take the Cave. I don't really want to play these cards. And this pack sucks. I do kind of like Scythe is like, I've always liked the 3 mana for +2/+2 permanently tricks, but don't think we're the deck for it. Sorry, but I'll take it because it's fun. I do note the Light Oaken Siren in that last pack. We are maybe in the wrong deck. Hard to say. Same thing with this Charter Course. Somebody's not taking the blue cards. That means it's not good. Ooh, we've wheeled Jade Seedstones. I like this card. This card is a lot of fun. And it's not good when your curve's high, but I'm going to play it because I like it. A 3rd Bristleback? We probably don't want a 3rd Bristleback. I'll think about it. Alright, moving into deck building. Here are the cards I'm pretty confident that we want to play. Definitely a lot of big end that I want to play. That is just good. Bristleback is, we don't have to play it because we have enough big things, but what we don't have is things to do on it too. So we can just play it and it'll be probably fine. I haven't done the splash yet, but I think it's clear that because of this top end, we're actually just going to want to play these Sunbird standards. And at that point, might as well just do the splash. So we're going to play the Chomp and the this guy with a runny name, and then one more card. You can take one more card. I probably want the Volcano, actually, because if the Compass Gnome can fetch it instead of a mountain. How many red sources do we want anyways? We've got, like, just 2 of these cards for... That doesn't sound right. We can play 1 mountain, 1 hidden Volcano, and then 1 more Plains. And then 1 more after that. Do I want the 3rd Bristleback? Do I want the Cavern Stomper? Do I want the War Scribe because it's good in a vacuum, although maybe not here? I just have a poor understanding of what you do when you have a top-end deck. Like, this is a strong card, and I feel bad about leaving it behind. But I think we're going to take this Cavern Stomper. Once you have 2 Sunbird standards, you're committing to playing the top end. Alright, I think this is the deck. We can change it later if it doesn't work, or if we really miss the War Scribe. Jump to the games. Alright, game 1, we're keeping this. This seems great to me. We get to go, like, lands and creatures. I love lands and creatures. Not too many expensive things. Definitely this deck is going to suffer from too many expensive things, but not in this game. I wish we could go... So, let's talk about this for a second. What I want to do is go Aspirant into Kutzil. Problem is we don't have a green source except for Compass Gnome. So we're going to have to take a turn off to go Compass Gnome into Aspirant into Kutzil. And by that point, the opponent's probably going to have a blocker. So then maybe the game plan should be to play the Cloud Guard and then get the Aspirant counter onto it? Is that even possible? And now we've done the tapped green land. That makes this actually even more complicated because it's pretty awkward. Okay. So I want to play this gnome. So I'm just gonna play the gnome here. I could get a mountain, but I think we have enough double green cards that I should just get forest. I do really want to have an untapped land. Boy, yeah, I guess I have to sound at least a little bit dumb when I've been telling you that the tap lands don't matter, and now I run into the situation where it's definitely mattering hugely. What do I want to do here? So I want to play the Cloud Guard into 4. I guess I'm just going to play the aspirant on this turn. So we can attack. See if the opponent wants to trade. They don't. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so opponent's got a Nautilus. Dream is pretty dead for Kutzil. Oh well. Here's Cloud Guard. We will get to attack in the air at least. Opponent has put a hat on their Nautilus. They're attacking. They've tapped out here, so we could definitely do like a little gang block. Like we could trade it for the Cloud Guard. Wait, actually trading it for Cloud Guard doesn't seem awful. If I put like Cloud Guard Aspirant in front of it, or heck, maybe I can put like Cloud Guard token, or no, Cloud Guard Gnome in front of it to make them. I don't want to give them. I don't want to give them any ideas. Never mind. We're just gonna do it this way. So the reason I'm happy to trade away the Cloud Guard is because we're gonna get to Kutzil them. That, or they have to, you know, sack their crewmate, which presumably wants to wear the hat. For some reason, they didn't put the pirate hat on the pirate. They put it on the Nautilus. Kind of surprising Nautilus is a creature type, to be honest. Alright, we got the trigger. We drew a red card and got punished. Maybe instead of a force, we should have gotten the cave that filters, but then, of course, we'd have trouble casting Cavern Stomper on 6. So it's probably better this way. This way, we can just, like, we can play the Cavern Stomper next turn, and it doesn't matter if the opponent stalled the board out or not. What is casting Confounding Riddle? That's it's a fun one. They've looked at some cards, put 3 things in the graveyard that really don't matter. Played Captain Storm, which is a great card, but maybe not doing too much here. We have drawn Sunbird Standard, which maybe I should just play right here, because if I go Standard, I can chomp on the Storm, and then I get to attack with everything. Yeah. Let's chomp. Let's chomp right now. So I do like, basically what I like about this play, it's probably a lot better, you know, if we were playing, I like the obscurity of this play. It's probably a lot better in a vacuum, at least if I know that my opponent doesn't have an answer to play the Cavern Stomper immediately. But what I really like about this play is it disguises to my opponent. It disguises what the game is about. They think that I'm playing this game that's about Kutzil, but I'm about to play a 7/7. I'm not, which is really what my deck is good at. My deck is good at playing 7/7s, and it's not good at being a Kutzil deck. So I'm hoping is that they're going to spend a bunch of effort fighting my Kutzil plan, which, to be fair, they're at 5. They have to be careful, and they maybe use like a hard removal spell on the Kutzil. I get to play this Cavern Stomper. This is like halfway there. Wandering Pirates on Kutzil, definitely something I prefer to Wandering Pirates with my 7/7. And yeah, we can work with this. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana, so I can petrify the pirates. They didn't equip the hat, which means they have something. I could have activated the Sunbird Standard. I couldn't have done both, but I could have activated this. But given that they have a removal spell here, probably they either have like a Braid or Gnome. It would be a little weird if they had something other than those 2 options. They didn't cast anything? That's bizarre. That's pretty strange. What's this about? Is this guy going to get countered? No, there aren't any counter spells that do that in this format, right? So we get to scry land away, which we don't need. Seed Stones is pretty great, and the game is over. That was awesome. Let's do that again. My rank is very low because it is early in the month, but we got plenty of time to catch up. Okay, so this is probably going to be a much more normal hand for the deck, where we got a bunch of expensive things and no 2-drop. We're going to keep it, and here you can see why Kincaller is so important for this deck. It's because we may not be able to play a 4-drop on turn 4 because we might not hit a land, and this Kincaller, it's going to bridge that by playing a 3 toughness blocker while also gaining life, just in case the opponent's running us over. Of course, everything's going great for us because we're drawing lands, and we've also hit the everything we need, and the opponent hasn't played anything. The only thing that could have been better is if we got to Aspirant on 2, but I guess we can't have everything we want. The King Collar is also nice because we really want to have target for these Seed Stones. But I'd rather be careful about it. We're gonna play the Axe Jaw here. I kind of want to play the Seed Stone so that it's either splitting up the counters or it's putting the counters like on the Cloud Guard specifically. Do I want Sunbird Standard? Or should I put that in my graveyard? No, we can keep it. It's fine. We don't need it for fixing, although we might if we ever get to the point of sacking the Hidden Volcano. But I do like that this gives us more flexibility. It's not really going to block us from making plays because we can just go Standard plus Aspirant on one turn, which is technically a double spell. I like the ability to theoretically flip it over as a second flyer later. Okay, opponent's got another Deadweight. We could go Seed Stones and punch, but I think I'd rather be patient. See if they want to trade. I presume they don't, because that's not really what you do with Deep Cavern Bat, but they're behind, so I wouldn't blame them if they wanted to trade. That's great. I need to learn what this card's called, but we're keeping this because this is going to fight their bat. And if they hold up removal, well, that's not going to work because we actually have other stuff to do with our mana. It's Quinth. It's Quinth. Yeah, so we're just not going to walk into that. That would be just what... That would just be totally unnecessary. We're just going to poke the opponent. Here is the Sunbird Standard. I don't want to play the Seed Stones into their removal either. So here's the Sunbird Standard. Here's Aspirant. And I'll put the counter on the Little Dinosaur. Opponent plays another Chance, which is definitely not what I thought was going to happen. They can take another bat, and I guess the bat can take my Itzquinth. But that doesn't look like them winning to me. Chart, of course. Opponent, you gotta play the board or you're gonna die. You can definitely play the bat. It took Itzquinth. But well, we're gonna, yeah, okay. We got there. We're gonna attack for a lot of damage. Good game, moving on. Alright, how's this hand? This hand is fine because it's got good cards in it. Doesn't have a great curve, but we'll be okay. I guess 3 into 4 is good enough. I think I've made that point enough by now that like a lot of limited formats, they're really just about that. They're about a 3 into 4 life. And this format just very much not about that. Unless you're green. And I guess if you're green, and I guess if you don't have Poison Dart Frog on 2, which we don't have, because by the way, Best Green Common did not see a single copy in the draft. If you're green and not skipping past 3 with your Dart Frog, then that's what the game's about. It's about going 2, 3, 4. Well, all the other players are doing their dinky little things with their 1/1 flyers and 2/1 artifacts. I don't really think I wanted to cycle the Bristleback there, even though there's a pretty good argument for it since we are so far away from casting it. But because we don't really have anything good to do with the 5th mana, then I don't really want to send away a potential Bristleback, even if it's just a long way off. At this point, we can go in with Kutzil, and yeah, let's just hit the opponent. The opponent's probably going to trade here. Oh, they're not trading. That's interesting. I'm going to play the Cloud Guard, I think, for similar reasons as the last game. This blocks really well, actually. So this 1/1 can block the 2/1. That's really nice. The 3/2 blocks the 1/1 lifelinker. That's nice. And we also can just trade here. I also see that they've revealed this card, Warden of the Inner Sky, and that's a very scary bomb, and I want to be rid of it. But we're gonna have to block because I don't want them drawing cards off Kutzil. I want that guy out of the way. I don't want to think about that ever again. And yeah, if we ever find a way to trade for Warden, I will be happy. Ooh, Petrify. That wouldn't be terrible. I think we can wait a couple turns then, but knowing that the Petrify is in the pocket, that makes things a lot better. What we're going to do here is we're going to do Seed Stones to Kutzil them, basically. And I know they're going to get to do it back at me, but we get to do it first, so maybe that makes it worth it. Look at all that. Get to draw... Oh, wait. Kutzil only lets me draw 1 card per turn? Oops. I totally thought I was going to draw 2 cards there. look, there's a lot of words on these cards. By the way, I can't remember if I said this or not. The reason to maybe cycle the Bristleback, and now I wish I'd done it because I missed a land drop, is because of this ability here where you got Craft with Creature. That's a 7-drop. I forgot about that. I was thinking, oh, we don't have any creatures in the graveyard. Well, yeah, this is how you put a creature in the graveyard. You just cycle this thing. So we're trading damage here with the opponent. Opponent also draws a card. We are lower than the opponent, but not by that much. And this turn we will not be casting. Petrify, because what I want to do with the Petrify is double spell. So I think what I'm going to do is go to combat, get Kutzil in, and see if they want to block. Kind of bet they don't. They didn't. Nice. Hit them in the face. I draw a card. It's a tap land. That's great. Use the Cloud Guard. Kutzil on both sides makes a very interesting game state where nobody casts spells in the other player's turn. Fascinating. And Cloud Guard, happy blocking with it. Heck, I might even chump Warden if they spend the whole turn pumping mana into it, because it stops them from drawing a card, so it might be worth it. No, but they're not going to do that. If they spend their whole turn pumping mana into it, they might die. We're definitely blocking this Ruin Lurker Bat. I don't know what this is, but if they had a combat trick, I don't see why they wouldn't attack with more creatures. Okay, well, they had a combat trick. I'm not sure why they did that. They've also got a Bedrock Tortoise. Wait a minute. As long as it's your turn, creature draw a Hexproof. Yeah, that's scary. Mostly the problem is that it's a 6/6, and I'm going to have to petrify that. Otherwise, I'm pretty dead. Okay, so opponent got one counter on the Warden over here. Yeah, we really have to petrify this guy, because that's just absolutely terrifying. We have to be careful to not die. We also have to be careful that we need to pressure the opponent, because if we don't do that, well, we're going to die anyways. We kind of have to play this Axejaw. Oh, no, I should have attacked them first. Bristleback, that can actually go to the graveyard. By the way, when we craft this, that's not bad. I could have thought about this a little more. This craft from the other side of this Jade card, it's gonna gain us life, 7 life, which is super relevant. So I'm gonna play a land, I'm gonna petrify the Tortoise, and I'm gonna count how much power they have on the board. Where this Warden might, let's say it attacks for 5, so I'm gonna need to have like 3 blockers. I do have 3 blockers. I don't see how they're gonna pump the Warden at sorcery speed, and yeah, I'm gonna attack them at 4/4. I think 3 blockers might be enough. I shouldn't have played the Axejaw before I attack. This is complicated. I'm not used enough to these green cards. I hope they don't kill me specifically this turn, but I do think it's important to put some pressure on the opponent, because otherwise they're the one with a rare on the battlefield, and they can run away the game with that. We really have to petrify the 06, because I have no way of attacking ever if they have an 06 or a 6/6 rather. So I have to get that guy out of the way. But yeah, they can hit me for most of my life total right now if they want. There's nothing I can do about that. I just have to hope they don't have another staggering size to end the game. Ooh, opponent has their own big dinosaur. Alright, opponent, show me. Can you attack? There's definitely an investment that's possible. Put a bunch of effort into that Warden. Yep, they're doing it. That's not the best. We're down to 2, so we have to activate Seed Stones. Is there going to be a way? Well, we don't have any tricks either. They only need 1 blocker to not die. I could attack with this 5/4. That wouldn't be terrible. They have to either chump or let me draw. I can't play the Bristleback because I have to play this. Yeah, I think we can attack pretty safely. Like, this trade is just good. It's just good for me. So I don't really have to be too afraid about that. So we get to craft with creature. Opponent has their own Seed Stones. That is game. That's the pump spell I was afraid of. It's a tough loss because there was a lot going on in this game, and you know, maybe I could have just won it if I had played better. There were a lot of decisions to be made. might have screwed it up by not cycling the bristleback on turn 2. Hopefully that wasn't what clinched it, because that definitely might have been it. Game 3, well, we're keeping this because we got 1 drop, or 2 drop, 3 drop. We also got our Skull Spore Nexus, if we can ever cast that. Probably not. It's okay though. Ooh, opponent's playing Black-White Sacrifice over there. Alright, well that forest pretty solidifies it, this Compass Gnome. I think we need to get a basic forest. I guess it's possible I could go and get a... We're not getting Captivating Cave. I guess it's possible to get Nursery, because it's unlikely that we need 4 mana on turn 4 and 5 mana on turn 5. But, the greatest power, so this is going to be 8. No, actually, it might... No, we can take the hidden one, I think. Hopefully this doesn't come back to bite me. We do have definitely enough late game. Maybe the rules for caves are actually just different in green decks, and I'm used to how white aggro deck should handle the caves. But maybe in green, if you are not in danger of losing if you draw your 6th land, in fact that's your game plan, and actually can I please have a 7th land? Maybe it's different. On the other hand, I'm spending a bunch of resources in my deck, like, you know, I'm playing cards that are just extra lands. I'm playing these Bristlebacks with the intent of cycling them, and I'm playing the Kincaller. So maybe not. Like maybe I do have to worry about flooding because I'm basically missing spells, even though my spells are big. No, I see it now. What's going to happen is I'm going to draw my 4-drop like Exploring Dino, and I have to play the untap land, and then or this is going to happen. I'm going to exile... Should I just give him my Bristleback? I'm just going to give him my Bristleback. I don't think we're supposed to get rid of these lands when we already don't have enough lands to cast all of our spells. I guess that guy is sort of a land, but... Okay, anyways, this was also a fail case for getting a tap land. No, never mind, doesn't matter. So I don't really want to let them attack with Echo of Dusk. They are pretty far away from descending, actually, though. So never mind, we can get in with this guy. Oh yeah, I do like dealing damage, even though the damage doesn't super matter. Having the Inner Sun, what am I going to do with this card? Like, if I knew I was going to draw another 6-drop immediately, and I would do something differently, but of course, I do know that I have a lot of 6-drops in my deck, so maybe I should just play like I have 6-drops on top of my deck always, and it's been an error to do anything else. I've got another buff spell here, and I'm taking damage from the Echo of Dusk. Maybe I should be more careful about that, because I don't like trading damage. I don't like what's happened, but I think we're going to be okay. We're going to play this Nexus. So now whenever my non-tokens die, we get another creature, and we have an incredible combat trick all the time. So let's just pass and tell the opponent, here you go. What are you going to do about this board? We've got more where this came from. Rampaging Spiketail. I don't love that. So I could chump and gain 5 life. When my opponent has a flyer on the board, yeah, no, I don't want to go to 8. I'm going to chump and gain 5 life. I want to keep the dinosaur so I can draw a card off the Earthshaker Dreadmaw. But yeah, we're just going to make a little 2/2, draw a card, play the land, play Earthshaker Dreadmaw. Hopefully this stalls out the board. We got a few turns. Opponent's only got a 2/2 with evasion. We're at 13 life. Maybe they get to grow it. So opponent definitely has a bunch of things going on here. But between the Skull Spore and this Kutzel in my hand, like we've got a whole lot of stuff. I'm going to be looking out. So here's this board. So the naive play is just say we're going to play Kutzel. This is a 12/12 with trample. We're going to attack with it, and they have to trade half the board for it, which can't be bad for me. Definitely something could go wrong, because they could play a murder. They could have the Join the Dead and cast it in response to Kutzel. And so if we're afraid of them having something, we should probably just play this. Start casting spells from the deck. But I think the This seems fine too, especially because we can also play the flanker and maybe like gain life. So let's do that. Let's do that. Here's Kutzel. Are you going to cast a spell right here? And if they do, I'm just going to let it die, I think. The tokens don't have trample. They're thinking, which is really interesting to me. Like, if they had the murder, they would just cast it, right? I don't know why they would need to think. I could, well, all right, no, they just had the murder. So I could pay 2 mana and have the 6/6 turn into a 12/12, but it's just going to die to a removal spell the same way. It doesn't have trample. So I'm just going to allow this. Oh, wait, it didn't die. Never mind. I take it back. I was thinking it was going to die, but actually they just don't have they haven't descended enough. So we're going to then stop here. Don't want to be attacking with that. In fact, we could have activated it in response and even saved it from the Join the Dead. Boy, I keep calling it murder, but actually this could have just been a 12/12. I should have thought about that more. So then there'd just be a 7/7, and I still probably wouldn't want to attack. Should I attack with like a kin caller? Kind of threaten the opponent? Say we can Skull Spore? Or do I really want to flank? Yeah, let's get in with the kin caller. I think there's not many blocks that just go terribly for me. And this is threatening to deal half the opponent's life total, and also I also have a straw card, because this works not just with counters, but when things are pumped in general. So do I want to trade and then Skull Spore, or do I not want to do that? I think I want to keep things untapped. I don't mind trading. Trades have to be good for me. Don't really need to play the flanker, because I think the main mode of flanker that I want is going to be the life gain mode. Just gain 2 life. Anything to survive like one more turn sounds great to me. Opponent is going to be able to make these gnomes with this guy, which makes the attacks with everything I have other than tramplers potentially not very effective. So we're going to have to go and, maybe search for some tramplers. But I suspect we'll find some without working too hard for it. I'm going to play this flanker here, and I guess I could exile their graveyard knowing what kind of deck they are, but I think I want this guy. We would like none of these cards. We're going to draw. Ooh, Cavern Stopper. That is pretty similar game plan. It definitely attacks past their thingies. Dreadmaw, get in there. Opponent has to put blockers on it because it is 12-power trampler. Blocking with your 1/1 definitely not enough. So they're probably going to block with like half of their board here. But the question is, and math is for blockers, so I haven't puzzled it out. The question is, can they put enough blockers in front of it to kill it while also not losing their Envoy Acolyte combo? That's interesting. So they're putting just enough to force me to activate? Sure. Deal. You can't cast any spells during my turn, so I'm just going to do this. You really should have activated the Acolyte in response, because you're going to gain that life anyways. Oh, I see. Boy, I'm having trouble reading my cards lately. I did not understand what was happening. Never mind, they shouldn't have sacked it in response. They read the card correctly and I didn't. This thing only pumps the power. You're probably yelling at me after the Join the Dead when I didn't think about it. So not only did I misread the board state, I also misread my own card there. But I do get the 12/12. So that part's good at least. And then here I have to decide which of these lovely 6 drops would I like to put onto the battlefield. Probably just this one. So this is the one that generates stuff every turn. We're going to get Petrify. That's a good one. We're going to Petrify this guy. It's kind of mopey. I hate having to Petrify it, but that's the card that allows them to block my board forever. I don't want them blocking my board forever. Okay, we get to make, I think, 2 attacks here. 1 regular attack and then 1 attack with something that's going to get Chimlied. Okay, so Echo Dust block, that's happening. So they're going to be gaining life. I think we're fine with that. Yep, that's not surprising either. It goes up to 11, but hey, we still have that 12/12. Do I want to explore or scry, considering that I have the Discover coming up? I don't know. Scrying seems fine, and this guy is potentially just kills the opponent. I definitely would not hate the Cloud Guard. So let's just leave that where it is and discover it. I believe if an opponent doesn't play any creatures pre-combat, we're going to block that Lion Wing right away to prevent losing to something dumb. If they play a 2-power creature, though, I might have to think about that because I don't want them to explore and then make a 3-power creature that blocks the Stomper. But we are so far ahead that it may not matter. Yeah, so now it's my turn. They can't cast spells because of Kutzal, so I think we're safe. And lethal damage. Good game, opponent. Next game, we are keeping this because we have early game stuff to do. This is definitely the kind of hand I was worried about, having a 6-drop and a 7-drop, and kind of missing the middle. Compass Gnome can get us a 5th land. Triumphant Chomp, very castable, but like I don't really want to draw a land. I want to draw like a 3-drop or a 4-drop, but we need lands because otherwise we can't do the thing that we're trying to do. I'm gonna remember what I said last time. I'm gonna assume that we're just gonna draw all expensive things. So I'm gonna resist the impulse to take a nursery. We already have 2 lands that sack themselves anyways. And I guess just take basic mountain. Basic plains. Basic mountain's fine. Opponent's got Kincaller into Kincaller, and I'm over here sad about it. We can cycle a Bristleback, but that does not get me anywhere unless I somehow draw 4 into 5, which would actually be perfect. Ooh, opponent's got their own appraiser. What do they discover? They discover Kincaller number 3. We are a little bit behind. We are a little bit behind on the board here. Oh, good. We drew another 6-drop. I think. So this is interesting whether I want to cast the Chomp or not, because it doesn't help me on this board, but it definitely might help me if the opponent has a removal spell. So I think I'm going to play it just to be safe, because I don't think, like, once we hit these dinosaurs, I think we're going to be fine. I believe at this point I have to just cycle the Bristleback, because there's a decent chance I will be activating Captivating Cave next turn, and then I actually might have difficulty getting to enough mana. Jade Seed Stones, that's actually a good draw. That's at least sort of a 4-drop. That would have been nice last turn, but okay. Got a 5/4 gnome, and I'll probably just block if the opponent, like, okay, so if the opponent has the +3/+3 and trample trick, or the +2/+0 and first strike trick, then we're gonna get screwed over no matter what we block, and we can't not block because we're 11 and this is 11 damage, so we have to block. So let's just do it and try to get value. And yep, they have the trick and we're dead. Alright, so 3-2. We've learned the weakness of the deck, which is that we can just draw mono 6-drops. With that in mind, should we keep this hand? Yeah, I'm going to keep it because this hand at least casts Centaur Courser on turn 3. Can't really get that bad if we have a Centaur Courser and a Pacifism. Oh, I definitely don't hate the Captivating Cave because that casts Itzquinth. Alright, I've drawn another land. Do I now want to cycle this Bristleback? Or at the fact that I've now gotten to 4 mana, I mean I should stop. It's not obvious. Well, I can pass the turn and do it on the opponent's turn, but it's really not obvious to me. I think I'm just not going to do it, and I might do it a little bit later. Here, I would have liked that Aspirant last turn, so I didn't have to feel bad about potentially making the wrong decision. Because I've already lost 1 game this league by not cycling that on turn 2 because I'm greedy. Opponent over there has got an Appraiser into Miner's Guidewing. Okay. So we can Itzquinth here, but we can't, like, we have to pay the 2, and Captivating Cave doesn't quite do that. So that's out of the question. We could play the Cloud Guard and kind of say we're doing the Stolly thing, or we could play it sort of safe and go Aspirant plus Bristleback. I think I want to play Cloud Guard. Cloud Guard is like, it's a little bit too good. Just being able to play this guy on curve. Yeah, they might have a trick, and they might have a cheap removal spell. That's what red-white decks are. Alright, opponent is starting things up with Adaptive Gem Guard, putting a counter on it. So that's going to be a great Petrify target. We could start fighting now. We also just don't have to because we're at 23, and we can petrify when it is more convenient for us. We could play Itzquinth and get the fight in while they're tapped out, kill like the Appraiser. Or we could just slam the Skullspore Nexus, which is gonna be hard to be bad. Yeah, I should probably just slam this, because this guy punishes their removal spells, and I think removal spells are how we lose this game. So this seems reasonably safe. I also like how, because this punishes removal spells, it tempts them to kind of stack up things on their creatures, so they can spend resources. Oh, it didn't punish that removal spell. Never mind. They got me with their exile. I spoke too soon. What I was going to say is it punishes, like, if they want to stack up counters in this gem guard, then we're going to punish that by petrifying it. And if they want to, like, sack the cave to put counters in this guide wing, then we're going to Itzquinth it. All those things just turn out really well for me and really poor for the opponent. Yeah, gem guard doesn't want to attack, because that would just be a terrible trade. They would trade for these two guys and I make a 3/3. We've drawn a tap land. That's fine. That's more than okay. I have to then ask myself what I should be doing here on this particular board. They didn't tap for the gem guard, so they're at least a little bit afraid. But they also didn't use their mana very efficiently, and that makes me worry they have a trick. So I don't want them to cast a Braid on my creature in response to Itzquinth, because then like I have to tap out of Nexus. But I don't know, I really want to get a removal spell off of Itzquinth, because I've got like the 2 removal spells that are in our deck. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Aspirant. Yeah, they have something. I'm going to put a counter on this little 1/1. And I'm going to attack with this. See if I can get him to use removal on this little dinky 1/1. Oh, really? We've got a block? I didn't expect that. I stand corrected. Okay, they didn't have a removal spell. They had that kind of trick. Okay, well, at least everything makes sense now. At least I did understand correctly that they were holding up a trick. This seems fine. It's not like the pup is really going to attack me. I don't like that they get to discover again. Really? You're attacking me with Gem Guard? That just seems so strange. I don't understand the purpose of this attack. I can just block and then make this King Collar large. Do they have a trick again? Like they must have a trick, but it's just not that bad for me either way, so I don't mind. It's like, okay, they traded their 5/5 to up for nothing. Like, they upgraded my thing. Okay. Yeah, that was a little weird. Start attacking with the 6/6. I'm kind of hoping it'll just get in there and then we can Cavern Stomp him out of the game. But I'm okay with other options as well. Alright, Cavern Stomper, here comes the Scry. Do I want a Mountain to cast this Nurturing Bristleback? Yeah, kinda. Do I want River Herald Guide? Yeah, I'm not going to turn down Explorer, especially if I can guarantee it draws a card. So yeah, let's do it. I mean, maybe that's bad logic, but I don't know. I want to cast this Bristleback, so throwing that away seems weird. And I can go River Herald Guide, draw the land, use Itzquinth, activating Tinker's Tote, activating Cave. They are going to have to block, but yeah, makes sense. That would be scary if my life total wasn't so high. So opponent here doing the famous double chump. To go draw the card, play the land, Itzquinth, and we got a concession. Next game, here's another hand. We're going to have to decide, do I want to keep this and do I want to cycle the Bristleback on turn 2? I probably am just going to keep this based on me going first, and we are going to cast this Axejaw on turn 4, and that's probably enough, especially because we have our Mythic. But man, just deck being just like mono 6-drops is rough. So just got a Diamond Pickaxe, and we once again are going to have to make a tough decision because we have the 4th land. One's got Kellen. Ooh. Not a good 2-drop. That's bad for me. That's quite bad. Yeah, I'm going to cycle the Bristleback because I have regretted that choice going badly enough today. They're going to get one free attack with Kellen, and no more free attacks after that. They're going to have some interaction or trade. Plundering Pirate, that's not good for me either. Well, here's the extra. Save me, please. I hope this does not hit a land. Ooh, we hit Earthshaker Dreadmaw. Do I want to draw a card I cannot cast? Yeah, I don't think I can send that away. I really need this extra to live, and then I play Skullspore Nexus. Problem is I might take a lot of damage first. So I think what's going to happen here is, thankfully they didn't have like a Petrify. So I'm going to let them do that, let them hit me, and then once that's all done, I'm going to be able to cast Skullspore Nexus, and that should at least theoretically stop me from dying. Now I can trade wherever I want with impunity, and it goes great for me. Braid. That's not good. The Skullspore Nexus was supposed to win me the game, not get abraded. Uh-oh, I don't like this. I am at least going to be able to cast a big thing. Opponent, I believe, is just going to attack with everybody. Ooh, I'm going to block this, because otherwise they get to draw a card off of Putzel, and that's probably worse. It's probably worse than anything else that might happen. But yeah, I really have to trade. I can't just keep taking damage. Ooh, that's really good, except I'm dead on board. So I actually don't want to cast it quite yet. I'm going to cast Cavern Stomper. What I'm actually really hoping to see is the 1-mana red light spell. I'm going to send both of these cards away, because they're not good enough. They're not good enough. Just have to hope to basically survive this one turn. Just don't kill me. Okay, they didn't kill me. Drew Cloud Guard. I can cast my Chimmel here, or I can just cast Dreadmaw. Yeah, I think I'm going to play my artifact here. Discover 5. Did we get a good one? Good enough. It blocks. Or something. But just don't draw Petrify. No Petrify. I need this Cavern Stomper. You can even draw in a Braid and kill the Chimmel. Yeah, okay, that's going to kill my artifact. That matters a whole lot less than it would if they killed my my Cavern Stomper and attacked me for 1 million. Here I'm going to play this Dreadmaw, and I'm actually going to leave open the red because I can think of a particular card I would really like to draw that costs 1 red mana. We didn't draw it, but it didn't really matter what I left untapped. I'm going to go the end step, and opponent is smart enough to figure out how to kill that before the end step. It's a good top deck, though, for them. Not as good as Petrify, but good enough. Opponent's got a rare over there. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, they get a map. And yeah, that's pretty good. What's on top? Tendril of the... Tendril of the Micro Tyrant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is pay 7 mana, you turn something into a 7/7. I think 7/7s are not that scary for me, but they definitely have the potential to just kill me. And yeah, I don't feel very safe with this round. On the other hand, it could take a little while because I have to play it on this turn. Then the next turn, if they only have 7 mana, they can activate it, but then the land is tapped. And so because of all of that, I think I'm going to, instead of digging for an answer, I'm just going to play this Cloud Guard and play the Seed Stones. And the Seed Stones is going to put 3 counters on this Cloud Guard and make this guy very large and potentially a deadly attacker the opponent needs to be afraid of. That's my goal. I guess they can actually just move the pickaxe to the Colossal Dactyl and block it. But maybe they won't do that. No, they're doing it. They're smart. Alright, we got a competent opponent. My goodness. What will become of me? So I think it's nursery time. Let's see if we can find something that interacts reasonably well with the board. Oh yes, we hit the Triumphant Chomp. What? No. Oh, the greatest power among dinosaurs I control. Thank you, Arena, for this Are You Sure prompt. No, I'm not sure. Reading's difficult. Greatest power among things we control is Stomper. So Stomper, Chomper. There we go. And 6. Do I want to do another one? If we attack with this, that's not a good trade. Ooh, and we draw a card? I forgot about that. I forgot the Kutzel was going to trigger. I love Kutzel. Oh man, center courses that draw cards. Okay. Here I'm thinking, so I could triple spell, right? There's definitely good things to be said about triple spelling. The other option, So let's think ahead one step. We're going to tackle them with the Cloud Guard. Opponent's going to go to 8. This Sunbird standard next turn can be a 2/2 flying, which means the 2/2 plus the 6/5 can hit the opponent for exact lethal. So what I want to do is just stall as much as possible. We got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana right now. Sunbird standard is going to be a 9th one. We can actually surprise the opponent because this is only be 8. So let's play the no, let's just activate the Seed Stones. I think the best way to stall is actually just to gain 7 life. That will help prevent us from dying for sure. Oh, and we drew another card. Oh boy, I love drawing cards, don't you? Opponents got their 7/7, got their Explorers, but they just didn't have any way to interact with my Flyers. They didn't know that they were dead, the Sunbird standard, I think, but they kind of figured out the writing was on the wall. 5/2, how do I feel about this hand? It seems pretty decent to me. We got the 4s, which is definitely what I want to be seeing in the Mono 6 drop deck. Oh, we got a 3, even better. Got all the colors of mana, and we even have our best removal spell. Really, just complaining would just be very greedy. I'm going to play this Plains, pretend to be an aggro deck with a bad draw, and then I play River Herald Guide into Axjaw. Yeah, because I don't want to play Kutzel until I need to, especially because what I play here is probably just getting a braid. It didn't get abraded, that's good. Opponent has a Scytheclaw Raptor. Let's poke, see if they want to trade. Vigilance. I haven't played enough of this card. And then after that, we get to Axjaw. Maybe the Axjaw will get a counter, maybe? The Axjaw did get a counter. Do I want my rare? Yeah, I want my rare. Here you go. We can petrify the Raptor and then, like, cast the... Oh, never mind. Never mind, Raptor's doing his job. I will trade. I will absolutely trade. I don't mind this guy being around. It doesn't seem that scary. I would like to play Sunbird Standard into Malamet. Kutzel Malamet Exemplar. Opponent's got their Appraiser. So opponent has great cards. They were just a little slow. So they get the Aura, they get Discover again, they get a Frog. Where are my frogs? I wanted some frogs. And attacking for 4, you can't really block that. We draw another land, and we will be playing the Bristleback. I think we got this board this board's under control. Let's put it that way. It's under control. Opponent has Appraiser number 2. Oh man. They're cascading into Sunshot Militia. That will let them ping me, but they're probably not going to do too much of that. So they don't really have artifacts. And, well... So they've got this Poison Dart Frog. Should I just petrify the Poison Dart Frog? Because otherwise it interacts well with my creatures. So I think I definitely have to play this Cloud Guard. Should I... They don't know about the petrify. The thing is they have to leave up mana to do that. So I'm just going to leave up the flanker and flank him. I honestly don't know the rules for how this interacts with Kutzel. Does star mean that its power is different from its... No, probably star means that defines its base power, so its power won't be greater than its base power. So it's gonna kill my Cloud Guard. Fine. Can't really stop that. It's annoying. They definitely have some of these pings. I'm going to play my flanker, and I'm going to play it in Scry mode. Gain 2 life. Scry 2. I would not like to draw a 2-drop. That seems poor, but I would like to chomp. So we're going to draw. Which thing do I most want to chomp? Well, I'm going to start with, I'm going to activate the standard first. So the standard, oh, no, never mind. I'm actually not going to activate it first. So I can activate it for 3 different colors. I want things to be different colors. This is a third color. So we're gonna go chomp. And what thing do I want to chomp? Do I want to chomp the Itzquint because it has the most toughness? Do I want to hit the frog because the frog interacts with the sunbird? Honestly, I kind of just want to chomp Itzquint. Activate sunbird standard. And then we're gonna go to combat. So I'm gonna attack with this guy. I'm gonna leave the 5/5 back, leave Kutzel back. We can get in for some more damage too though. Opponent's gonna be, yeah. So that's why I'm attacking aggressively, because I thought the opponent was gonna be kind of incentivized to block, and then, well, I want to get those things off the board because they have this Sunshot Militia plan, and just trading is just actively good for me everywhere, and actively not necessarily bad for the opponent, but definitely I feel like I'm getting ahead on these exchanges. Opponent's coming with a 5/3, sure, we can make this trade. Second frog, definitely annoying, but it does mean they have to tap out of stuff. That's also annoying. I didn't mean to take that much damage. Gone to 9. Got this Petrify. We can activate Hidden Volcano here. See what we hit. We hit Compass Gnome. Do I want to search my library? I actually do not have anything in my library I want to get. We can go to combat, hit with the effigy. I could petrify this guy because it's got trample. Yeah, I'm gonna petrify that. I feel like that guy might actually be a threat to me. We've otherwise got quite a stally board, although their militia is gonna kill me, but I'd rather not take too much damage if I don't have to. Let's see how much damage they're willing to deal to me. I like them not having the trample. They have this in their hand. Ooh, I got Seed Stones. Seed Stones would be really good if I had something to do other than attacking to the Death Touchers. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things, which means I'm going to be dead in like 3 turns. So let's go looking. We've hit another Sunbird Standard. Okay. We can go from here into Seed Stones. We can just cast this and put like, yeah, let's do this. I want to get this guy going so that I can transform it. So we're gonna get my counters. Everybody blocks extra. I think we're doing okay for now. Here's the Scythe Claw Raptor. Fortunately, we weren't planning on casting spells in the opponent's turn ever. Oh, right. We're gonna go combat here, and I think attack with this Bristleback. Try to trade it away. This plan is probably not clever enough to work very well, but it's not really a mystery what I'm trying to do. I just want to trade it. We have to trade for those frogs anyways, and then we get to Seed Stones. It's awkward with that. I was hoping to gain 3 life off the Kincaller, but whatever. Well, we can wait on this Kincaller. Ooh, we have hit this thing, which I always pronounce wrong. This seems quite good, so let's just play it and hope it will save me. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things on the board, which should be enough to survive like at least 4 turns, hopefully. And we have hit Itzquint, and Itzquint, so we can only have our dinosaurs fight, but yeah, I do want that to happen. So this guy is gonna hit, and it's not a fight, it's just chopping. We're gonna hit this frog because that will allow us to actually attack in the air and hopefully in the game pretty quickly. Hopefully faster than Militia plus Wanderglyph will kill us. Heck, we can also just attack with a 7/7 at this point. That's terrifying. Okay, we're not attacking with the 7/7. Can Kincaller? I'm gonna craft her. So we can go to combat. We got 5 power flyers. Bam bam. And then we'll cast the Kincaller. We get to gain 3 life. And then pass the turn. What's happening in our instep? Yeah, Iron Paw Aspirant, which is actually quite good because we have exactly 5 power flyer and they're at 6, so let's get that 6th power. And opponent is, cross our fingers, hopefully they hit. And we got a concession. Awesome. That was an intense game. 6-2. See you in the last one. Alright. Final boss. Poops and then group. Can we keep this hand? definitely good if we draw a Plains. Are we going to draw a Plains? Probably not. I think I won't Swarm all this. Can probably do better. This seems suitably better to me. We're just going to get rid of the Stomper. Going to get rid of the 6-drops. As we know, there are more where that came from. What's going on over there? Do I want a Kin Call or River? Probably just River Herald. But Axejaw is... It's actually tough. I'm actually going to play the Kin Caller. I think having stuff on the board is more important than potentially drawing a card. Opponent's got River Herald's Guide. They reveal Ancestors' Aid. No, they're not keeping it. I was about to say, oh, we're going to have to be afraid of that. Actually, maybe not. It's just going in the graveyard. It's fine. Would you like to block? I totally don't have a trick. Hey, they respected it. I guess the Ancestors' Aid to Grave could mean that they already have a trick. But I also just don't mind blocking with my River Herald Guide, because mine's going to want attack and offer them the same trade on their turn. Oh, Appraiser. Okay. Yeah, we play against a whole lot of Appraisers today. My goodness. Yep, I'm taking the trade. It's good for me. We can go It's Quinth, actually fight, or we can just play the Axejaw. Which one is better? Probably waiting on It's Quinth is better, because It's Quinth can kill something larger than a 3-2. Axejaw draws a card. Fine, whatever. There's argument to be made about attacking there, where if I attack with a 3-3, we're trading down, but we're stopping the opponent from trading up for my 3-2 on the other end. You can go either way. We're gonna slam this Skull Spore Nexus while the opponent is tapped out, and then go to combat. Say, hey opponent, do you wanna block? Oh, you do want to block. Incredible. I love it when we block. Blocking is great. Right? They got a little teensy tiny Poison Dart Frog. How much do I care about what happens here? I think I want to It's Quinth fight. Yeah, let's do that. So It's Quinth. Now we got a 6/6. So fighting is looking pretty good. It's a pay 2. 6/6 is gonna eat the 4/5. And then we get to attack with everyone. Everyone? Oh, we're blocking there. You might die if you do that. The opponent's blocking here, so we're gonna get to make a 4/4. We can activate this here, turn the 4/4 into an 8/8, or we can activate this here and deal 6 to their face, putting them at 3. They're both pretty tempting options. I'm gonna go for the deal 6 to their face option, because I feel like if we made an 8/8, what it's going to be doing is just trading for the frog anyways. I would rather have them at the point where the opponent really needs to block everything I have, and they can't do it. That was awesome. So we have gone 7-2. What did we learn? Well, I think we learned that things can be dangerous if you have too many expensive cards, but also the mid-range cards in green are actually really decent, and they stop that from being a huge problem as long as your curve is like reasonably okay, and as long as you have powerful top end to dig for. It was definitely really good that we had a lot of like bombs that we were playing to that were winning the games by themselves, especially that card that we first picked. But it's also the case that we were leaning a lot on the commons, like the Axejaws, for example, to get us through the mid game, and they were doing a great job of doing it. Anyways, hope you had fun. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.